I hope I'm audible. Hi, everyone. Good evening. On behalf of Biorix, I warmly welcome you all to today's Biotalk session. Biotalks is our initiative to bring biology beyond textbooks by creating a space where students can share ideas, research, and scientific discussion. Through these sessions, we aim to encourage curiosity and meaningful engagement with life sciences. Today's session focuses on biodiversity conservation. We are so happy to have Kavya N, final year MSc Botany student from Dr. Manmohan Singh, Bengaluru City University, as today's speaker. She will be sharing valuable insights into the importance of conserving biodiversity and protecting ecological balance. Biodiversity is essential for maintaining healthy ecosystems and sustaining life on Earth. Understanding its conservation has become more important than ever in today's world. With that, let us begin today's Biotalk session. Over to you, Kavya.
Good evening to one and all who present here. First of all, I wanted to thank the Biorix team for this opportunity. And let's begin the session. I'll share the screen now. My screen is visible to all.
Yes, Kavya.
Biodiversity conservation will talk in this session. Father of biodiversity is Edward O. Wilson. He popularized the term biodiversity. And next, you all know that biodiversity is defined as variety and variability among all the group of living organisms and ecosystem in which they live. And many significance of biodiversity is very important to know the significance of biodiversity. Biodiversity is protect the fresh air, clean water, and productive land. It is also important for forestry, fisheries, agriculture, and other activities like rich water variety and various biological resources and available in the nature. And to conserve the biodiversity conservation, there are two main conservation and in situ and ex situ conservation. You may know that in situ conservation has the biosphere reserve, national park, and wildlife sanctuaries and sacred groves. And in ex situ conservation, we all know that botanical garden, zoological park, and wildlife safari, seed bank, etc. It's all come under ex situ conservation. In-situ conservation is on-site conservation or the conservation of genetic resources in a natural population of plant or animal species, such as forest genetic resources and natural population of tree species. And in-situ conservation is the process of protecting an endangered plant and animal species in its natural habitats, either by protecting or cleaning up the habitat itself and by defending the species from predators. It is applied for the conservation of agriculture biodiversity in agroforestry by farmers, especially those using unconventional farming practices in situ conservation is done by declaring the particular area as protecting and we can know that there are many 600 protected areas which includes the 90 national park, over 500 animal sanctuaries and 15 biosphere reserves. And national park is an area which is strictly reserved for the betterment of the wildlife and where activities like forestry, grazing and cultivated areas are not permitted. In this parts, even private ownership rights are not allowed. Their boundaries are well marked and circumscribed. These are usually small reserves spreading in an area of 100 to 500 square kilometer. In national park, the emphasis is given on the preservation of single plant or animal species. These are the list of some major national parks in India. There are many you can see in the picture. And in wildlife sanctuaries and national parks are which was dangerous for the plants and animals. That's like of anthropogenic activities are not allowed in that area, particular area. Wildlife sanctuaries are sanctuaries is protected areas which is reserved for the conservation of only animals in which the human activities like harvesting of timber, collecting minor forest products and private ownership rights are not allowed as long as they do well-being of the animals, boundaries of sanctuaries are not well defined or controlled. Biotic interference is permitted. Tourist activities. And these are the list of wildlife sanctuaries you can see in the picture. And in a biosphere reserve, it is a special category of protecting areas where human population also forms a part of a system. There are large protecting areas of usually more than 5,000 square kilometers. Biosphere reserves as three parts: core zone, buffer zone, and transition zone. Core zones is the inner zone. This is undisturbed and legally protecting areas. Buffer zone lies between a core and transition zone. Some research and educational activities are permitted here. Transition zones is the outermost part of biosphere. Here, cropping, forestry, recreation, fishery, and other activities are allowed. Conservation to ensure the conservation of ecosystem, species, and genetic resources. Development to promote economic development while maintaining cultural, social, and ecological identity. Scientific research to provide support for research related to monitoring education, local, national, and global issues. You can see in the picture the biosphere reserves in India. Few major biosphere reserves of India, few examples are there. Nanda Devi in Uttarakhand and Manas in Assam, Gulf of Mannar, Tamil Nadu, and Great Nicobar, Andaman and Nicobar Island, and other. Uses of in situ conservation. The flora and fauna live in the natural habitat without human interference. The life cycle of organisms and their evolution progresses in the natural way. In situ conservation provides the required green cover and its associated benefits to our environment. It is a loss, expensive, and easy to manage. The interest of the indigenous people are also protected. Ex-situ conservation is the preservation components of biological diversity outside their natural habitat. This involves conservation in genetic resources as well as wild and cultivated species and draws on diverse body as techniques and facilities. Such strategies include the establishment of botanical gardens, zoos, conservation and stands, and gene pollen seedling tissue culture, DNA banks. Method of ex situ conservation are as follows: seed gene bank and cryopreservation. Cryopreservation, you all know that this is the newest application of technology for the preservation of biotic parts or parts. This type of conservation is done in a liquid nitrogen at very low temperature in minus 96 degrees Celsius. The metabolic activities of the organisms are suspended under the low temperature, which are later used for research purpose. And tissue culture bank, long-term captive breeding, botanical gardens, all this comes under this. And animal translocation. This is the world's oldest zoo in Vienna. And uses of ex situ preservation is it is useful for declining population of species and endangered animals on the extension are successfully bred. Threatened species are bred in captivity and then released in the natural habitats. Ex situ centers offers the possibility of observing wild animals, which is otherwise not possible. And threats to biodiversity extinction or elimination are species is natural habitat may face extinction or elimination as per natural process of evolution. And during evolution, different species have died out, lost of species in the past. Following slow processes, however, the process of extinction has been done particularly fast in the recent years of human civilization due to anthropogenic activities. If the present ride continues, we would lose 1.5 to third of current biodiversity by middle of 21st century. And these are the pictures of smuggling and poaching. Smuggling, that picture shows that sandalwood, red sandalwood smuggling, it is very illegal in India, and poaching of that elephant tusks and all, and tiger nails, all that things I have showed in that picture. You can see in the picture, smuggling and poaching. And you can see where the distribution of sacred grows in India in this picture. And present initiative of conserve the biodiversity project tiger launched in 1973. This project protects tigers and natural areas, crocodile and breeding and conservation program launched in 1975. These program protects the crocodiles and the natural habitat. India has many initiatives to conserve its biodiversity, including laws, protected areas, and research organization. Wildlife Protection Act enacted in 1972. This act protects wildlife. Biological Diversity Acts enacted in 2002. This act gives effect to the Convention of Biological Diversity. Wetlands Conservation and Management rules enacted in 2010. Those rules protects wetlands. And these pictures shows the modern tools used in the biodiversity conservation. You can see in the picture. According to the current statistics, around the species are at risk of extinction. Globally, forest loss and climate change are rapidly increasing biodiversity decline. Current research undergoes the biodiversity conservation. Scientists are uses the AI tools to identify the endangered species, track animals and movements for the detect of illegal poaching, analyze the satellite images for forest and DNA barcoding, and DNA conservation and research. We in the DNA technology are to identify the species accurately, study genetic diversity, and protect the rare and endangered organisms. These helps to conserve the species before extinction occurs. And many AI tools like drone monitoring uses modern conservation drones and mapping, remote sensing satellites. These technology help in monitoring the deforestation and forest fires and also other things. You can see what has been done in AI tools, wildlife application. These are the things used for biodiversity conservation. And that's all. Thank you for all. Okay, thank you for all.
Hello, Kavya.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Where do you live?
Sir.
Where do you live?
Sir, Bangalore, sir.
In the city.
Yes, sir.
How many are there in your home?
Four members, sir. My father, my mom, and my sister, sir. And me.
Just four.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
No, nobody else. Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Damn sure.
Yes, sir.
Do you have ants there?
What, sir?
Ants.
No, sir.
Ant. A-N-T.
No, sir.
Lizards.
No, sir.
You have uh, birds outside.
Birds, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have pigeons like that. Yes, sir.
And are you sure that there are absolutely no organisms living inside the home?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, do you know about organisms living within yourself, within your body?
What, sir?
Do you know about organisms living within your body?
So, like worms and all, like it will be in our stomach like
Yes.
that.
But more than worms, the bacteria, the
Yes, sir.
microbiome, which everybody has, is almost equal to the number of cells in our body.
Yes, sir.
So when you speak of biodiversity, there is biodiversity inside us, there's a biodiversity outside us, there's a biodiversity around us.
Yes,
So
sir.
we are living within the biodiversity. So when you speak of biodiversity conservation, it is not just a question of conserving forests or declaring national parks or biosphere reserves, but there's a large number of organisms living inside, outside, a bit far away around us. So if you are speaking of conservation, conservation should start from there. It is not just a question of declaring national reserves. So that's for the first thing. And the second thing is that there are two different hypotheses. One is it is called as a Slough hypothesis. Like for example, it is the full form is single large or several small. Now, one of the interesting debates in biodiversity conservation is whether you need to have a large area conserved, or whether you need to have a large number of small areas conserved. So people argue that for large animals, you need large area, but that doesn't make sure that small animals are conserved. So they need a totally different approach to conservation. They need small areas, but a large number of them. So that is a
Yes, sir.
major debate which we are facing in biodiversity conservation. I just wanted to add these two things. Thank you,
Yeah.
Kavya, for it.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, hello Kavya. One question I have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So, XC2 conservation, it involves the also the transfer of animal across country, right? Which
Yeah.
is presented as a solution of biodiversity conservation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but such transfer may create ecological, ethical, or genetical risk, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, can you tell me or can you discuss the factor for necessary to ensure the safe and sustainable transfer of species? How it is possible? Because there were some reports that leopards from Africa, when it came to India national parks, so they could not sustain for more than a year. There may be a lot of reasons behind it. So what are those necessary factors which you consider, or probably the for the biodiversity conservation?
Actually, one thing I wanted to tell you that to conserve that you have taken the example of leopard. Uh, Actually, that leopard conservation should be that in the basis of like if it may be also harmful for that people of that area, right?
No, but when the government is taking some actions, right? So they might have considered all these things. Which are the as a bioconservationist, yeah. I mean, while taking the decisions about transferring an XC2, what are the primary things a bioconservationist should take care of? That's what I wanted to know, so that this kind of minimum risk can happen. Minimum death can happen during XC2.
Actually, many according to the many research, as the leopard conservation act was taken by the government for the to conserve the leopards and other animals like elephants and all. So government takes many initiatives. You can take the research articles. Many research articles have done according to that elephants to conserve the elephants and leopards and other animals. You can see that present research. Yeah, many research was undergoing also nowadays to conserve the leopards and other species.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other doubts? If that's it, let's conclude today's session. Thank you,
Kavya,
Kavya, for
1 minute. I have one question for Kavya. Kavya, this cheetah reintroduction. What is your views about this as a your conservationist? What is your views about cheetah reintroduction in India? Whether it is legal, matlab, ethical or ecological point of view.
I can't listen your question once again. You can ask.
As a conservationist, biodiversity, talking about biodiversity conservation, what is your views about cheetah reintroduction in India? Whether it is ecological point of view, it's legal or ethical or not.
Actually, for harming the cheetah is like many issues has harmed the cheetahs, and it became. I have read one article there. One of the leopard or cheetah species has been very decline in that population. For that, I can say it was illegal, and many species were of the cheetah has been like what I can say. It can be conserved according to that rules and regulation of the Forest Conservation Act of animals and other wildlife precautions. We can conserve the cheetahs and also other.
But my question is concerned like cheetah is a, like this cheetah from Namibia, na? They brought from Namibia. So I the teacher who studied in India, that is like Asian population, Asiatic cheetah. So in my view, this is exotic species which is reintroduced Kuno Palpur in Madhya Pradesh. That's why I have a question. What is your views about this? Whether it is
Yeah, that's
harm
yeah. It's harm. Actually, it's harm for that.
harm in which way it's harm to ecosystem?
For harm, it mean according to that population in that area, it can harm for the people also, right? Uh, like other which the people were lived in that area, they can harm by that cheetah and all, right?
How the people will harm? I'm talking about ecosystem.
For the ecosystem, it may not harm, but particular area of the biodiversity of like other like deers and all herbivorous animals can be harmed like that. I'm telling.
Kavya, what Dr. Abhinash was asking was about the risk of bringing a species from another country and releasing it over here. And the first and foremost risk is that it is not just one individual which you are bringing. When you translocate one individual, that individual comes with a lot of parasites, which include bacteria, fungus, nematodes, things like that, which can infest other species right here, to which they don't have any protection. So this is the first risk. The second risk is that it will be preying on species over here, which will degrade the prey base of other similar carnivores. That's a second thing. And the third thing is that the cheetahs will find it extremely difficult to survive in a totally new terrain. They will find it extremely difficult. We had many deaths of cheetahs which has came over here. They will try to survive, but then it is quite difficult in the new terrain. Uh, And finally, conservation cannot be species specific. It has to be landscape driven. It has to be a large area, has to be left apart for that. And you need to give it for the natural selection. You cannot control everything which is happening in nature. So,
Yes, sir.
what
I
is the,
agree with you, sir. Yes, sir.
okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Uh, Professor Sanjeev sir, yeah, that is one factor that parasite infection to the same family. It will infect. Another fact is cheetah, where they brought from Namibia, the environment, the ecosystem, which is difficult for adapt to in this Indian ecosystem. And also another thing is the Kunopalpu, there is no tiger, only leopard is there. And due to absence of tiger, leopard is dominant species, flagship species. So those leopard size is very biomass very big, bigger than the cheetah. So it might be survive of the. This is the question mark for the survive of the cheetah because leopard is a very big size over there. So and leopard population is quite good in Kunopalpur. That's why my question. And Kavya, one thing, how will monitor the underwater wetland biodiversity?
Actually, I'm the botany student, so I mainly concepted on the environmental underwater ecosystem like that. My main focus is to that to conserve the endangered species of plants like that. I mainly focuses on that. Being a botany student,
Can we conclude, Kavya?
yes, yes, yes.
So, as we conclude today's BioTalk session, we sincerely thank Kavya N for delivering an insightful talk on biodiversity conservation. Today's session helped us better understand the importance of protecting biodiversity and maintaining ecological balance for a sustainable future. Biorix Biotalks, as part of our student knowledge sharing series, aims to create a platform where students can learn, share, and discuss ideas in life sciences. Sessions like these continue to strengthen that vision. Thank you to everyone who joined and actively participated in today's session. We will announce our next Biorix expert session in the Biorix WhatsApp group by tomorrow evening, so stay connected for updates. Registrations for speakers are still open, and we encourage anyone passionate about biology to participate in our upcoming sessions. So, once again, thanks everyone.
Thank you, Biorix, for the opportunity.